Appreciate y'all's time this evening. This isn't about defaming or defunding the schools. This issue for me started in my district, and I look forward to working with you, Representative Talarico, on some of the language for the curriculums and some of the things that they testified on in the teachings. And if there are no more questions, I'd close.
All right. Chair recognizes Chairman Leach.
Thank you, Chairman. I just can't sit here and remain quiet and not comment on the attacks that were just levied against you by our colleague, Mr. Talarico. I think that if you want to, any one of us can file a piece of legislation that we care about, and we can and should welcome disagreement respectfully among colleagues on the issue at hand. But his obsession with Governor Abbott, his hatred for Governor Abbott and for private school vouchers or educational savings accounts has just gone too far. To make this about defunding and defaming public schools and supporting private schools and all of the rhetoric that we just heard from our colleague is totally unacceptable, and you don't and didn't deserve that. Your record on public education supporting our schools is clear. It's strong. You've supported funding, increased funding for our public schools at every chance, increased funding for our teachers, increased funding for our retired teachers, increased funding for school safety. You supported the school discipline bill. You've supported bill after bill after bill that strengthen and increase funding, Representative Talarico, for our public schools. I don't know what's going to happen with this legislation. I do know that you care about it. I'd be interested to know if Representative Talarico talked to you about this bill before the hearing today.
I went up to him and talked to him on the floor today, and we've, in passing, we've kind of, like he had mentioned, we kind of joked about it, but we hadn't got down into the nuts and bolts.
Yes, I mean, all of the comments, and I didn't plan to talk tonight or speak tonight on this bill. I think we need to move on, frankly. But, all of the comments that Mr. Talarico made to you could have been done in private. Nothing that he said tonight needed to be made publicly. It's fine if you want to disagree with the bill or ask questions about the bill, but I just want you to know, I know, and I think the people of Texas and certainly your constituents know your commitment to public schools. You have kids yourself. I think you care deeply about doing the right thing, and though there might be disagreement with some on this panel about this bill, I appreciate you bringing it and hope that you leave here with your head held high, knowing that, at least for me, and I think the vast majority of members on this panel, you're highly respected, and this bill doesn't change that.
Thank you.
Members, any more questions? All right. Representative Talarico.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just wanted to respond to Chairman Leach. The reason this bill needed to be called out in public is because this bill is making accusations about our public schools.
No, that's not accurate. That's not accurate.
Chairman,
and I'm going to call it out.
Finish.
That is not accurate.
Chairman, I started out my questioning asking Representative Gerdes, who I do respect, if he could back up the claims made in his press release, which was a public document. It wasn't a text to me and you in private. It was a public document accusing our public schools of something that Representative Gerdes couldn't back up here. And so that's when, once I found out there wasn't any basis for the accusations, I stated what I believe as a legislator is the motivation for this bill, or at least what the effect of this bill is. And so I would say I appreciate you defending Chairman Gerdes, but I'd like to see you defend our public schools as vigorously as you've defended Representative Gerdes here.
So hold it. Representative Talarico, go ahead.
Okay, let's. All right, we've sort of veered off what we're talking about and what the subject matter is, and
yeah,
I don't want to get in a back and forth.
I agree. I don't want to get into
attacks
back and forth with Representative Talarico.
I've been leaning. Let you guys talk a little bit, but let's wrap this up here. But Chairman Leach, you have
it is what it is. We're used to this with our colleague. I am a proud supporter of our public schools. My 3 kids are in public schools. I take great personal offense to Representative Talarico accusing me and you of being anything but proudly in support of publicly and privately in word and in deed of our public schools. He knows that to be true. I don't know what he's running for. I do know who he doesn't like, and I do know who he's out to get, and I do know who's behind him. I do know what he does for a living, but I'm going to defend myself and defend you and our record supporting our public schools, public school teachers, and most importantly, doing the right thing for our public school students. I'll leave it at that.
All right. You've closed.
Yes, sir.
The committee substitute is withdrawn. If there's no objection, the bill will be left pending. Is there objection? The chair hears none and the bill is left pending.